Yo, Aries, it's your girl, Belladonna Krishana, here with your mid-month reading. So I have been, well, okay, first of all, let me start by saying thank you so much for all the likes and all the subscriptions and all of the love that I've gotten from these videos. You guys have been absolutely amazing, and let's keep it going. Let's keep with the momentum here because we are this Belladonna Belladonna community is, is growing and it's doing pretty well. And thank you so much. So that's the first thing I wanted to say. Secondly, if you guys want a reading, I do readings through Skype. I do readings through telephone as well. If you want to contact me, my information is down below. Also, if you just like this video and you want to donate, my PayPal information is also below. So feel free to send a donation as well. So that's where we start. Okay, now next. So I was concentrating on guys' energy, and I was really trying to figure out, what's going on in the Aries world right now. And what I strongly sensed was there's this feeling of being in a certain place or being in a place where you guys are about to miss a blessing. So there's about to be something, if it's not here already, that is in your life, and you're about to F around and miss your blessing. If you don't stay in a state of gratitude and you really look at how blessed your life really is. So I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle these cards, and I'm gonna shuffle my other cards. So I'm going to shuffle these cards, and we're going to start off by just kind of giving a general overview, and then we're going to go a little bit more in depth with my normal cards that I use for reading. So let me just shuffle these real quick. So what's going on with the Aries world? Ooh, okay. What's going on with the Aries world? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Just what do we got? Okay. So one card. I usually do like three cards of these cards, and then I use my regular cards after that. Okay, so all right. So the Wheel of Fortune has come up for a lot of people now, or a lot of signs rather. And so we start off with the Wheel of Fortune card. Okay. And so there are things in your life that are divinely planted. Maybe someone entered your life in a rough time, and that person was divinely planted in your life to try to bring you out of the place that you've been. Or perhaps there was a situation with a job that came in just the right time that needed to come, even if it wasn't exactly the job that you wanted in that moment. Okay. And so things are definitely coming in. It's not like the energy may, for some people, the perception of stagnancy may and may not be the reality of what's happening. So we have the Empress card here. And, and this is, in combination with the Wheel of Fortune is you're being divinely taken care of. If you can just sort of see it, you're being divinely taken care of at this moment. We have the 10 of Scepters, which is like the 10 of Wands. And so, you feel very burdened, but the question is the burden that you're feeling, is it a real burden, or is it a burden that's perceived? Is it something that you're perhaps so used to being in a certain place that because you've been in that place for so long, even when certain things come in, it's like you're not really seeing it, and this actually could have to do with a lot of healing work that has to be done from other past situations that you've been through. But don't, like I said, don't F around and miss your blessing that's in your life right now. So perhaps perhaps there is a time right now of letting go and needing to be really comfortable with that, being and a lot of this is, I think, is a season of having to let go, because a lot of signs have also had very similar um very similar energies that, it's definitely time for us to sort of move forward into this new phase, whatever this new phase is. And it could be planetarily influenced, you know? So give me a second. I'm going to shuffle my other cards and we're going to read from that as well. So these are the cards that I normally use when I'm doing readings. Some of the cards are missing and they are bent and they're hard to shuffle when other people have to shuffle them. Because I usually, whenever I'm doing a reading, if I'm doing it in person, then I just have the people shuffle in front of me. And they're like, oh, this is like hard to like get through. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. These cards have been with me for a while. I think sometimes you put energy into things and they take on their own life. So these are, these are those cards. So anyway. All right. So let's just look at what we see. Okay. So, all right. We start with the Eight of Pentacles, which is in reverse. Okay. So perhaps for you, something is just not working. It's, again, though, I feel like this is more of a perception. So something's not working, but at the same time, on some level, I feel like it's not working because you won't let it work. So as we kind of read with the other cards, there's something divinely planted in your life right now, and it's actually a blessing. But because of the fact that you're so used to being in a particular place, instead of actually looking at it as a blessing, you're kind of looking at it as like, okay, well, this doesn't work. And maybe because it's not exactly what you want or what you think you want. The two of swords comes up next. It's in reverse. And it says to me like maybe there's a little bit of like lack of clarity of what you actually feel like you need in your life, or what you actually feel like you want in your life. And so, you can't just go rejecting things for the sake of, this is not necessarily what I want, without actually knowing what you do want or what you do need within your own life. The Queen of Cups is coming up, and this is that energy that I told you is in your life. It could be a person, it could be like I said, it could be a circumstance, it could be a job, but there's someone in your life who actually is offering you that support. And you have to make sure you see them. Because if you don't see them, eventually you're going to just mess around and your blessing's going to leave. And that's really important for you to remember. It's like if you don't use it, you lose it kind of thing. And it's really important that you actually, figure out, why are you feeling this way? Sometimes we go and we start banishing things out of our life instead of actually looking at what we have in our lives and asking ourselves how we can transmute that energy. Okay? Because I mean, not to get all like, sciencey, but energy can be created. Energy is not created or destroyed. It just moves from one place to the next. And so it's like, let's say you're in a town and you're like, I hate this town and I need to move. I just need to go. I hate this town. Well, I mean, okay, so like that's fine and everything, but as they say, oh sorry, I just got hair in my eye. As they say, you can move all you want, but you take you with you. So, it is best to kind of be really clear about the energies that you have around you. It's to be really clear about everything that's happening in your life before you start trying to make moves for the sake of just moving. Because there is a lot of supportive energy. I have the Hierophant as well, which is here, which is saying right now, especially with, I'm going to move this because it keeps like pulsing in and out a little bit. Especially with the Mercury retrograde that's about to come up. It's coming on the 21st. Especially with Mercury retrograde coming, it's going to be really important. I feel like for you guys especially, I feel like this period of time is going to be about you going inward and really, really going inward. Maybe you sort of, spend a little time not texting so many people, not so much time on Facebook, not so much time on social media in general, and you just sort of go inward and really ask yourself those really serious questions. Because in the new phase, so I have the Fool that came up, but the full card came up in reverse. And this is definitely again about that sort of moving without real clarity, or moving on without any sort of real understanding as to why these situations feel the way they do, you know? And also the clarity being, is it my perception that things are messed up right now, or is it that I'm keeping that energy here? I'm feeding that. So what you feed gets stronger, right? And what you don't feed dies. That is nature. So if you don't feed it, then it will eventually pass. But if you keep feeding it with negative thoughts, negative energies, without, if you keep feeding it unhealthy things because of the fact that you're not necessarily in a state where you feel like you're able to do that, then what's going to end up happening is you're going to start bringing these energies to you, which are going to feed you, but feed you in a way that you don't want. So just, make sure you're very careful about what you're feeding yourself as far as your thoughts, your energy, those around you. Make sure you're very careful about what you're feeding yourself. I've recently been doing this thing where I wake up in the mornings. There's actually apps for this too. I've been waking up in the morning and I start with inspirational videos, which totally sounds like cheesy, and I understand that. But I start with inspiration videos because it's what I feed myself in the first 30 minutes of the day that sets my mindset for the rest of the day. And so it's putting yourself in these sort of habits, you know. And anyway, so the page of cups comes in reverse, and it basically also this says, you know, be very careful about how you treat others as well. So this has a lot to do with how you treat others as well. Make sure you're very careful about how you treat others. Be very careful about, you know, um, being such in a place where your intuition's off about people, or your intuition's never off, but that you're not using your intuition when it comes to discerning the energies around you, because that's going to be very important in this next month for you, because you're about to enter a new phase. So the Fool is in reverse, but the Fool is here, so you're about to enter a new phase, and just be very careful that in this new phase you're not attracting the wrong energies, because within this next cycle that's about to happen for everyone, that's going to last a few years, within this new cycle that's about to happen, if you continue this way, what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up not only in the same place, but in a much deeper place. You're going to go further down the rabbit hole, and this is not the rabbit hole you need to dig, So, anyway, I hope this was helpful. I thank you so much again for watching. And if you have any questions, or you just want to talk or something, just send me an email. You got my email address. It's right down below. Okay? I'll talk to you soon. Bye.